Giving all praises to Yahweh by Shem Al Shai. Excuse me. By Shem Rakakudash Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, let's see what the Spirit takes me. I'm going to try to make it short, but you know how the Spirit do. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, if you don't know the prophecies of the scriptures, you don't know the scriptures. Or if you don't know the prophecies of the Bible, you don't know the Bible. And that includes every Christian out there on the planet Earth. I don't care if you're white, YT. I don't care if you're so-called black. I don't care who the hell you are. If you say that you're a Christian or you say that you're a Bible scholar and that you know the Bible, you don't know shit about the Bible because you don't understand the prophecies. This is why, and I'm going to get into it. A major prophecy is getting ready to take place. Actually, let's say 3 major prophecies are going to take place before the kingdom comes. And the prophecy of the kingdom is the Israelites will rule the other nations. If you're not an Israelite, you will be a slave to the Israelites. We will be the kings. We will wear the crowns on our head. Our women, what part is our women going to play? They're going to be barefoot, pregnant, and happy about it. Let me say that again. Our women are going to be, in the kingdom of heaven, will be barefoot, pregnant, and happy about it. Let me say that one more time. Our woman, the Judite woman, the Benjaminite woman, the Issacharite woman, the Asher woman, the Simeonite woman, the Ephraimite woman, the Manassite woman. In the kingdom of heaven, anytime you see an Israelite woman, she's going to have a belly out. In other words, she's going to be showing. All right? If you're an Edomite, you're going to be in the field, or whatever we tell you to do. You're going to be in hardcore slavery. The other nations, some of you will be vassals where you're going to work and you're going to pay us tribute. So you working for us. All right? You got that? And that's what's going to happen, according to what we hear at GMS. GMS got it right. GMS is the #1 camp on the planet Earth. Not bragging or boasting. Why? Because we know all the prophecies. Well, what about these other camps? What about IUIC, IUCPK? They don't know all the prophecies. They don't know how to put the prophecies together. They cannot deal with us when it comes to these prophecies. Point blank, period. That's why IUIC and IUCPK, they can't see the MOTB being the microchip. And guess what? When it comes, what are you going to say when it comes? I told you I'll pay to see you guys do your videos, man. If y'all say members only or Patreon, Nate's going to give his Patreon. He's going to give you the count of the Mark of the Beast based on Patreon, and it costs $20. I'll pay $20. I'll give you a tip. I'll give you $30 just to see your face when you have to explain away that bullshit that you've been teaching for years, both you and General Yohana. Now, either y'all just don't know, and why don't you know? Because the Most High took it from you. He took it from you. Matthew's 13, about 11 verse on down, 11, 12, 13 verse. You can go to that. I'm not going to quote it in any way, but that's when the rubber hits the road, so to speak. When that prophecy comes to pass, when everybody on the planet Earth have to get chipped, then we're going to see what y'all going to say. Anyway, like I said, nobody understands the prophecies of the scriptures. If you do not understand the prophecies of the Bible, you don't know the Bible. Yeah, but I'm a scholar. I don't give a damn what the hell you are. You don't know the Bible. You don't know prophecies. Anyway, with that being said, Revelation 17:16 trending. Revelation 17 and 16 is trending. So we know that the MOTB is right at the door. The MOTB is ringing the bell. Somebody just got to get up and open up the door. You know how you lazy, you don't get out. Who you go? You open the door. Okay, y'all worried about these Negroes, Corey Holcomb and that clown Anton Daniels, talking about he's Christian, but he's having an affair. He's having an affair with that chick behind his wife. Well, now it's out. Oh, she just came. We ain't doing nothing. Oh, really? Are you kidding me? If I have a woman, an attractive woman in my house and the door's closed, I'm going to do something to her. I'm going to do something to her. And guess what? She expects me to do something to her. If I was a complete gentleman and didn't do nothing, you know what she would call me behind my back? She said, I think this guy, he likes it. He playing for the other, you know, he likes the other sex. He's they'll call you that. If you look, I talked to chicks that had me. I think this guy might be a happy person because he never tried. Women, if you're in a room with a woman, an attractive woman, she ain't got a man, you got to go for her. All right? So this guy, if Anton Daniels says, oh, we never had sexual relations, I never touched that woman at any time. Anyway, he's a fucking liar. And if she says no, we never, she's a fucking liar. But you know what? I'm going to say this. If I was an Edomite and a Christian pastor, I would ask all Negroes to stop calling yourself Christians because you embarrass Christianity. One thing about Edomite Christianity, they're not like Jake. Jake and Christianity, it makes Christianity a hot mess. Because at least these Edomite Christians that study the Bible, they know the Bible. You tell them to go to Obadiah, they'll go right to it. Jake will say, Obadiah. Because they don't study. Anyway, I'm sorry. Revelation 17:16 is trending. Let's listen to this. I haven't even listened to this whole this whole thing. I'm a little excited. Now, I'm going to say this before I hit the button. The head of Sakari, he made a statement before the scandal. I don't know if he no longer calls himself Sakari. Is Sakari still around? Does he still go out there and teach? Whatever the case may be. But about 6 months before the scandal, the sex scandal, whatever you want to call it, he had made a statement. He was on No Jumper, and the Jake, the big heavy, the fat Jake, you know, big, big dude, got a slight accent. I believe it was him. He said, when is the end going to come? When is the kingdom going to come? And what's his name? Alazar, he formerly chief high priest, Grand Poobah, I used to call him. Alazar said, it could be next week, it could be next year, it could be 1,000 years from now. When he said that, we got wind to it. We made counter videos saying that's bullshit. And guess what? He got mad at us because we told the truth. Ain't no way in fucking hell we're going to be here for another fucking 1,000 years. But then the scandal came, all right? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just kind of mentioned that. Anyway, you Israelites, you one Western, and I'm not talking about the Yah Israelites, the Yahweh Israelites. I'm not talking about the black only Israelites, the Old Testament only. We're not dealing with y'all. Y'all might as well be atheists. Okay? Like if you came up to us and you want to discuss, there's nothing to discuss. We're going to lecture to you. Ain't nothing to fucking discuss. You know, ain't no open forum. We're gonna be the lecturers, you're gonna be the audience. That's it. And the only question you have is related to the subject that we're going into, get it better. We don't discuss with nobody. We're over everybody. Anyway, Revelation 17:16 trending. Anyway, let's go ahead and listen to this. This is put up by Friends of the Prophets. Trump makes Greenland politician cry. EU threatens U.S. with tariffs. He's gonna send tariffs. They're gonna send terrorists. They're gonna call for terrorists back to him. You know what that's going to do over the board? The average person going to pay for it. The tariffs that that Trump or Nero imposed upon China and other nations, guess what? Who had to pay for it? The average person. Because when he kept talking about tariffs, and this is the end of the year, I'm going to do people, they were cheering him. You dummies, why don't you look fucking words up? What is a tariff and what happens with a tariff? Anyway, let me go on into it. Revelation 17:16 trending. 17:16 trending, excuse me.
Those meetings that people are saying.
Fair use. Let me do this. This is fair use because of what she's going to say.
And they really didn't want Trump there. Okay? He was invited, but they said beginning of these Davos meetings that people.
This is a disclaimer. Copyright.
Shalom, Jake. Shalom.
1976 Copyright Act. This is fair use.
And this is fair use. Now, they're saying that at the beginning of these Davos meetings that people are saying that they really didn't want Trump there. Okay? He was invited, but they're saying secretly a lot of people didn't really want him there. Because now they're saying that he's the talk of Davos. He didn't went there and overtook Davos because the issues they supposed to been talking about. Now Trump and Greenland and the infighting is starting to happen. Okay? We're going to play this. We're going to get some scriptures. And yeah, because this thing is getting out of hand, man. These prophecies are popping off like hotcakes. Okay? Just gonna play this. This is fair use.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me.
By the way, I subscribe to this channel. I haven't got any notifications from her. Maybe they took me off. I don't know. But I believe she's Russian descent. She got a lot of good information. World affairs in context. Was she under another name? But anyway, she knows her shit. Okay? If you can subscribe to her, go ahead and subscribe to her.
The European Union is once again staring down the familiar shadow of a transatlantic trade war, but this time the spark is more explosive.
Let's bring that back.
Once again, thanks for joining me. The European Union is once again staring down the familiar shadow of a transatlantic trade war, but this time the spark is more explosive than steel or soybeans. It is Greenland. Over the weekend, EU member states began serious discussions about reviving a long-shelved plan to hit the United States with up to 93 billion euros in retaliatory tariffs, and if this happens, it would actually mean one of the sharpest escalations in.
Read this, trying to provoke both a world war and civil war at the same time, while demanding a Nobel Peace Prize, a level of insanity I've never seen before. Let me read that again. Who's in charge? Trying to provoke both a world war and civil war at the same time while demanding a Nobel Peace Prize is a level of insanity I've never seen before. Let me read that one more time. Trying to provoke this guy right here, Nero, Redivivos, trying to... hey, who's in charge? Somebody got to do something. Somebody got to know something going on. What's up? You have you go to the supermarket or the store, big box store with your kid. Your kid's a maniac. He starts tearing shit up, and you don't do nothing. And the manager can't do nothing because if you grab a kid, you can get arrested. He tears the whole fucking store up. That's this essay right here. He's that crazy kid that you can't control that tears the whole store up and let people just watch. Where the fuck is Congress? Where is the Supreme Court? Where's the military? You know? What did they... You know you had a lot of insane emperors. He's back. He's an emperor. That's Nero right there. That's Nero right there. Look just like Nero. Does what Nero did. If Nero came back again, what would he do? He'd do this like this man's doing right now. That's Nero. If I met him, I'd say, you know you're Nero. I would tell him, you know you're Nero. You know? Anyway, nobody's checking this dude. Nobody's checking this dude. But that's all right. I have no problem with that. Do you have a problem with... No, I have no problem with Trump. Trump is a good president. He's a good president. You know why? Because he's going to fulfill... He's being used by the Most High to fulfill prophecy. Let me read that again. Trying to provoke both a world war, that's World War III, and civil war. Civil war is happening in the country in this country right now, Babylon. At the same time, while demanding a Nobel Peace Prize is a level of insanity I've never seen before. We believe he's going to be the last leader of Babylon. Here it goes. Let me look at this. Midas touch, and I subscribe to them too. Him, them. Furious world leaders rip Trump to shreds and turn the tables. Revelation 17:16 trending. Revelation 17 and 16 is trending. Let me read this one more time. I like the way it rolls off my tongue. Trying to provoke both a world war. Look up the word world war. It means a war involving multiple nations. Not America against Russia, not America against Vietnam, but multiple nations. And it always ends up badly. Trying to provoke both a world war and civil war at the same time while demanding a Nobel Peace Prize is a level of insanity I've never seen before. I mean, that's a topic in itself. So anyway, let's go ahead and listen. So, hey, Furious, I got to watch this. Right now, if you didn't know, as of yesterday, January 19th, year of our Lord, 2026, year of apostates, agents, sellouts, and the time of Jacob's trouble. I added that in there. Anyway, furious world leaders rip Trump to shreds and turn the tables. It's going to cost you. Price is going to go up. You're going to have to pay more price. You're going to accept, in my opinion, you're going to experience a thing that the Weimar Republic experienced, that the Zimbabwe back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, hyperinflation. Argentina in the 90s suffered hyperinflation. Venezuela suffered hyperinflation not too many years back. Remember they were going into zoos and killing the animals and eating the animals. There was cannibalism going on down there too. So this is what this man's bringing to you. So he's the crazy kid that the mother refused. She's afraid of. You got mothers that are afraid. You got a kid, a big head kid. He's 11 years old, but he's 6'2", and he's big as hell, and he's just wild and crazy. He ain't playing with a full deck. The mother's scared. The father's scared. He goes in the store, tears the store up. The management don't want to do nothing because they don't want to get sued. So he tears this. This is this nigga right here. All right. So let's go.
In EU-US economic relations in decades. The immediate trigger is President Trump's latest tariff threat starting February 1st.
And right about now, The whole planet hates America because they hate him. They don't love him. They hate him. They hate America. More stout than their fellows. Daniel 7.
Trump says the United States will impose a 10% tariff on goods from 8 European countries that have publicly supported Greenland in the face of American.
So whatever is exported to the United States from any of these European countries, do you think they're going to pay the 10? You think they're going to pay that 10% tax? No. You're going to get the tax through the American people buying these items. If you buy something for $1,000, now it's going to be $1,100. Why is the price different? Why is it so much higher? Because he called for a tariff against these European nations. What's currently the tariff on China? I got to look that up. And most of your shit that you get, if China called for an embargo is different from a tariff, right? Embargo has nothing to do with the mark of the beast. Look up the word embargo. It's simple. If China was to call for an embargo on the U.S., a complete embargo, all them big box stores would be closed. You can't buy no flats, and then if they open, it's just, the price is gonna be sky high. Whatever you have, the price is going up. We have 1,000 TVs left. Them mama gonna go out the window, bro. This man is the king of chaos. Let's go.
Aggression, and this is not just economic posturing, of course. Trump has openly tied these tariffs to his demands for what he calls, quote, the complete and total purchase of Greenland. So he warned that
At first he said he's going to go to war. There's currently troops, U.S. troops over there now. Everything's moving so fast you can't. Hey, a video come up 5 hours ago on YouTube. Something come up. That's old news. I want the shit that came up 2 minutes ago. That's old news.
Levies could actually rise all the way to 25% unless a deal is reached before June.
So, like I said, like she said, that he wanted to use military force to annex Greenland. Right after he annexed Venezuela. We don't know nothing about the president, Maduro, and his wife. We don't know nothing about it. They haven't said. This is what, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks ago? Almost 3 weeks ago? We haven't heard nothing. We don't know what's going on. Who really runs Venezuela? So he said, mission accomplished. We got Venezuela. Now we're going after Greenland. Now he's talking about buying it, purchasing it.
And see, this thing is heating up, man.
Thing, he openly said it. He said, we're going to sell the oil around the world, the Venezuelan oil. We're going to take the proceeds, the profit, and we're going to put it in an offshore account, meaning outside in the United States, meaning that's his personal money. He used the U.S. military forces to take this man down, annex the country, and profit off him. The U.S. is not going to profit. He's going to profit. His buddies are going to profit. Like I said, that big 6'2", 11-year-old kid, big head kid that tear up a supermarket or a big box store, and your mother's afraid, and the manager don't want to do nothing. They don't want to grab him because they don't want to get sued, and the store he done tore up $1 million worth of shit. Who you think gonna pay for that shit? The fucking parents.
And according to Bible prophecy, they're gonna come to blows. So we gonna go and get some scriptures. We gonna get into this because, hey, this man had one of the leaders. I think it was the Prime Minister of Greenland. He had her crying. Okay, let me show you.
Kisia looking at so at the sito kung tukatsokunga.
Paasinarpoq
Looking at sakot to simaput piarersarfigut Amaru sakot to siartortumik tatsineqarneq taan sakot to simavo kisian oqaatigerusuppara nukittugugut naalakkersuusoqarfitsinni suliat tamatsigut iniviakkalaallit nunatsinni toqqissilluta ineqissinaalerlissarput anginiarlugu nukiutamaas atorlugu suliaru ingerlappak.
So yeah, she on national TV shedding tears. Okay?
Taan ulluking
Yeah. And see, this is the pride of this man.
This is
Okay?
the last days. The last days. The last days have been tough. The last days.
When we take it, this is Esau Edom. Hold on. This is the pride of this man. We tell you this is Esau Edom. We're not lying, man.
And let me just say this. No Christian pastor, evangelical, Bible thumping, Bible believing, believe in the 48ers. Not one of them know what's going on. First of all, they don't know Babylon. What is Babylon all about in the book of Revelation? And that, for that matter, also in the Old Testament. Are there two Babylons pursuant to the Old Testament? They don't know who the beast is. They take the easy route out. It's the Antichrist. They're waiting for a guy with a Brooks Brothers suit, a white guy with a suitcase. Oh, that's the Antichrist. That's what you get, the Hollywood bullshit, Damien. So none of these evangelicals, none of these Bible thumping, prophecy filled with the Holy Ghost, Kenneth Copeland, John Hagee, none of them. Paula White. Paula White is an evangelical prophetess that's on her third marriage. But there's nothing bigger. You can be a Christian and jump. You can have different. But the Israelites can't have multiple wives. But a Christian like Anton Daniels, he can have a side chick, a side piece, and still be a Christian. Like I said, if I was a so-called white man in Christianity, I'll ask you niggas. I'll pay you niggas to not be. Don't call yourself Muslim. Call yourself atheist. Don't call yourself Christian because you embarrass the religion. Even though it's a joke. True, their form of Christianity is a joke. And like I said in the beginning, I'm sounding like a broken record. Not one Christian understands prophecy. That includes you, God Logic. That includes you, Vocab Malone. That includes you, what's this guy, David Wood. None of you guys you clueless when it comes to the prophecies. When this individual, Captain Tazariak, sits down with him, he allows them to control the narrative. And he doesn't realize that they need you. You don't need them. Next time you have a Christian on, challenge them with them prophecies. You really know the Bible? The Lord is dealing with you? What does this mean? Revelation 13. Let's do that out there. Isaiah 13. What does that mean? What does it mean by Babylon? Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51. You know me, I go down that line. Everybody's using that line. Throw out them scriptures, them prophetic scriptures. None of y'all know it. And that includes Israelites too. You really don't know what's going on. You have no idea that everybody's going to get fucking chipped. And that's going to be a fulfillment of Revelation 13 and 16. Please forgive me for sounding like a broken record. Or everybody waking up to this Black Panther guy from Philly. Everybody's saying that he's a fraud. And I believe he's an Ephraimite.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna get some scriptures and get into this, but Yeah, these scoffers, these people like Marquette and all these other people, hey, they're gonna see. They're gonna see the prophet has been among them. Okay?
Biara sapfigut amalu sa kottu siap tottumik tetsina kannat
Oh, and a lot of those Greenlanders are Israelites. She might be an Israelite. She got a Eskimos are Israelites, by the way. If they didn't go up there and tell you, those are Gadites.
dan sa kottu simawo
Habakkuk 2 verse 2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run it, readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And remember, Trump name Drumpf, it means bent or crooked. All right, this man's soul is not just him, all of them. Okay. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. You see that? Now here goes something that I recently found out. I didn't know that Greenlanders didn't consider themselves white people. Yeah, they say we part of Europe, but we colored people. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's almost like something like 90% of them are Israelites. They may think they're like I said, they're like Eskimos.
And you gonna hear them say it themselves.
Eskimos are Jakes.
Okay. So yeah, we gonna get into this. We gonna get some scriptures, man. There's a lot of things going on. Yeah, but they're saying that Trump, hey, he may turn his Davos meeting on his head. It ain't gonna stop Bible prophecy. We know the MOTB is gonna come, the collapse of the society, because Europe is talking about putting tariffs back on America. And when you go to the store, if you notice, the variety of stuff is down by like 50%. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yeah, I'm sure I noticed it. When you go to I go to like BJ's, a lot of shit that you want to get, they don't have it. They'll be out of stock on this. They'll be out of stock. I might go in there. I go in there and I pick up. I might go to a BJ's or whatever. I go to there's how many do I go to? There's 3 of them I can go to. That I normally go to. And if I want to get, let's say 10 things, I might only be able to pick up maybe 6 things, because they're out of stock. So the next time that thing is in stock, you got to grab 2 or 3 of them, those particular things.
Yeah, but I noticed that. So yeah, let's go and get into this. Barakathai Hawa, Barakathai Hawashah, Barakathai Hawa, Barakathai Hawashah, Barakathai Hawa, Barakathai Hawashah. Yeah, forgive me for that. We're gonna start over. Barakathai Hawa, Barakathai Hawashah, Barakathai Hawa, Barakathai Hawashah, Barakathai Hawa, Barakathai Hawashah. Call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Bashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Shalom and salutations to those that teach the likewise doctrine. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua. Forgive me. Shalom to the scattered Israelites across the 4 corners of the planet. May the Most High and the Son be with you during these trying times. Proverbs 6. 16 verse 18, pride go before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. And see, you know, hey, these people, they got haughty spirits. They think they're gonna continue to control the world, but the Most High got other plans. All right, they think they're gonna get everybody C-hipped and turn you into a soft robot or digital slave. Okay, an autonomous Toby. Okay, a digital Toby. Proverbs 16 verse 19, better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. And we know what the Most High is going to do with the proud. Alright? He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whosoever trusteth in the Lord, happy he is. Because see, while we're going through all this, yeah, it's tumultuous. We know it's getting crazy. It's a dire time. But guess what? We're going to trust in the Lord. And hey, whoever trusteth in the Lord, and the Most High didn't make his word good. You see? So yeah, this is the lady. I'm going to play her clip. That's from Greenland. Now, she's a politician, and yeah, she's going to tell you herself that we're Europeans, but we're not white. We're people of color, and that's interesting. That remember, they say this is the place that X'd out our Lord and Savior. When you go to a lot of these other countries, they don't believe that white Jesus story. All right, a lot of them actually believe that he was a man of color. All right. Now, you tell them that over here, they get mad. And they want to fight you. They want to try to do all type of crazy stuff to you. All right. They know it's a lie. A lot of them still push it. But listen to what she gonna say.
Doesn't know about Greenlandic people. We don't really value cash and Kardashian lips and fake boobs and stuff like that very highly. Actually, you cannot even own land in Greenland. You can get an allotment for your house, and then you own the house on top of the land. But Greenlanders don't believe in the land is for one person, it's for everyone. And so is the seas, like the riches that we have there. So it's a big
She's an Edomite. She got to be a Gadite. I don't know, but she come off the way she's talking, the aura around her. She come off definitely like an Israelite.
Miscalculation that he thinks that Greenlanders would be incited by cash or something like that. We're not. And even if you were to say like $100,000 per person or something like that, we wouldn't give up free health care. We wouldn't give up free education. We wouldn't give up being a part of Europe. We wouldn't give up on our sovereignty eventually. And we're a very sovereign people within the Kingdom of Denmark. We're autonomous right now. We do not want to be rich like the Americans are.
China can't buy America because you can't put a price on America because there's a culture behind America, a anti-culture, let's say. America, the president can't buy China because there's a culture behind. Heritage means the land, and what comes with the land is the culture. Discontinued our heritage. That means the land and the culture on the land. That's why we don't know that we don't keep the laws here. In the kingdom of heaven, we're gonna keep them laws.
See how greedy they are? They're even trying to shoot their friends or invade their friends just for greed. And we know that there's minerals and oils possibly in our underground, and that's
exactly what they're going for.
Worth so much more even than that. But even if we didn't have that, we would still not be bought. So everyone here knows about the Inuit in Alaska and all of the native tribes, Indians, American Indians who are there. Their land was taken from them, and they haven't...
Right. When they took the land, Gad was living on that land. 90% of the people in Greenland, I got to do the research, are Israelites, in my estimation.
Been treated that well in America, and we know that Trump is very much surrounding himself, at least, with the white power people, and we are not white, as you can see. We are of color, and so we know our rights probably would be taken away. And we also know that
beautiful too. The girl fine. It's a good look. That's an Israelite right there. That's, you got the spirit coming out, that glow about it.
we're very good as we are together with Denmark. As mentioned before, we have free healthcare, we have free study, whatever you want to study, you can
And
do that
that's
for
a welfare state, and there's nothing wrong with a welfare state.
free, and actually government will give you money to study. So while you're studying, you're getting a grant from your...
Oh, and let me say this right quick. I did a video on Eva Longoria. Now, she came out and said the Moors used to practice the Sabbath. I was going to put it up, but I was worried about the copyright. But I'm going to find a way to put it up. She was down in central Mexico, too, because she do a TV series on cooking. And they go around and study the history. She said her ancestors and other Mexicans that they came off of slave ships.
Oh, she would
Okay.
be a Judite. She's supposed to be Issachar from Texas. She's yeah, so she would be a Judite. They go on into the history of the Moors.
Because in the midst of all this turmoil that's going on in Babylon, you have Northern Kingdom Jakes wanting Southern Kingdom Jakes to get involved with the melee of them having to deal with the devil. Well, this is all happening on the Most High's time. All right, he measured the times. One thing gonna happen after another. You see, and it's gonna happen in his order. Okay, for prophecy's sake. Now, we keep telling you that all Jakes ain't gonna look like Richard Roundtree. Okay. I mean, everybody not gonna look like Shaq. Okay, Kevin Hart. All right. Some of them, they gonna look like her. All right. Now she could be Japheth. I don't know. She could be a Jake. She could be Native American. I don't know. All I'm saying is that they're saying that they're not white. Okay. But yeah, we gonna let this finish playing. This is fair use, fair use.
government. So all of that we wouldn't trade for, like the welfare state, we wouldn't trade for anything in America. But also, you have to remember, a lot of Greenlanders have family, like their mother or father or grandmother or grandfather who's Danish. We do have a 400 years history together or more in terms of being interconnected in that way. So, and we're also seeing a lot of protests in America right now that is unsettling, with the ICE agents who are sort of going after a lot of people, and from here it looks like maybe he's going a lot after brown people, and we are considered brown people, as you can see. So yeah, we would rather stay with Denmark. Thank you. America has had up to 17 bases here, and they have closed them all down except for one, the Bidufik Space Base. And America could...
if a sovereign country has a military base in another country, that other country is what's the word? That's called the occupation. That means you control this country, and probably puppets in your leadership and your government. The vice president that took Maduro's place. Now if the world was just, they would demand that he become president again, because that was unlawful. You can't go from one country, another sovereign country, say, I don't like you, you're not the president, we're going to put a puppet president in there. And this puppet president, if I'm not mistaken, matter of fact, I'm sure she got a Nobel Peace Prize before that, so it was all a setup. Nobel Peace Prize is a joke. She gave this guy the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, this guy he's just into himself. You want to talk about pride?
amp up the base presence, their military presence, and even their military capabilities here all they wanted to. So that is not the argument, and of course everyone in Greenland knows this. We may not be many, but we read, we're educated, and we know about the news of the world, right? Especially regarding our own country. So we know about the treaties that we have with America. This is very much akin to when you have a dog sledge team, when he's using that analogy, and one of the dogs all of a sudden turns around and bites you. You have to take it out of the kennel. You have to take it out.
That's him. He's that crazy. He's a crazy dog. That's crazy dog. And that happens. You get a crazy dog. You know.
Outside and shoot it. Of course, we're not going to shoot Americans. We're peaceful people, but.
And so, see, she comparing his mind state to that of a kennel dog. Okay. And she said she had a treaty, but she should know better. She know this man, he done broke every treaty that he's ever had. Over 500 treaties with the natives, and they had the treaty with Russia.
Well, Trump is talking about changing history. That's too negative. We got to change. You can't change fucking history, man. You can't change history. What is this, Back to the Future bullshit? America has too much negative history. Let's go change. You can't change history. History is the reason why it's called history, because it's something that happened. You can't change it.
They wouldn't expand their borders. And here it is. Russia got the largest nukes in the world, the known nukes, okay, the Satan II, the Poseidon, and they still broke the treaty, knowing that this man could literally annihilate this place. And this Bible prophecy say this place is going to be turned to a lake of fire through Russia, and they still broke the treaty. So see, this man has a date with death. Okay. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 10: never trust our enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come near wild beasts? This is the beast man, okay? That's who this is. So yeah, we're gonna get back to it, let her finish out.
You cannot trust that dog anymore forever. America has 10,000 soldiers who are for combat in Arctic society. Finland alone has 35,000. We also could impose, if we wanted to escalate stuff, we could also impose like dropping all American treasury bonds, right? That would hurt. We also have, when you look at France and Canada and all of the allies that are coming to our rush right now, a very big arsenal, actually, of soldiers and of weapons especially. I mean, America had to borrow Denmark's warship for Arctic seas. So, I mean, it's not a given that America would win here. We fought alongside America in a lot of other wars around the world because we wanted to adhere to the treaties that we had gone through. But they have seen that some of the street fighting in Syria, for example, has been very, very hard on Western soldiers, right? I imagine it will probably be the same in Greenland. It would be like something else. So I wouldn't laugh it off, but of course nobody wants war and nobody wants to be invaded. Of course.
So she talking about, hey, if push come to shove, they have to use guerrilla warfare. Okay? This is what she talking about with the street fighting. You see?
There are bad chapters with Denmark and Greenland because we have a 400-year history. But actually, I also saw a YouTube video that kind of emerged recently that said American soldiers were very bad to some of our people here too in Osuk, which is a small settlement in here. Some of the elders that remember them.
They're being the devil. That's all. The thief cometh not but for to steal, kill, and destroy.
also said, well, those guys were really not that good. So it really doesn't matter what happened between Denmark and Greenland. We'll figure that out. Denmark and Greenland is fine as we are. We will figure it out. If we want to be...
Imagine what we're going to do to these Edomites in the kingdom. They're going to be on the bottom. They're going to be the gum at the bottom of your shoe. They're going to be the welcome mats.
Independent Greenlanders should be able to decide that, not with pressure from a superpower somewhere. And we are well aware that if we became independent tomorrow, he would just invade us because he would have no problems with NATO, Europe, everything else. So I think he's banking sort of in a very insulting way that Greenlanders are like stupid, uneducated people who doesn't follow the news around the world, and we're not. It's the exact opposite. We're going to be here hundreds of years after Donald Trump. Even if he invaded us, I think we would just wait him out like bad weather. Everyone here knows that the weather decides. If we get a storm, we may have to hunker down for a day or two, and we will hunker down for a year or two, or even 10 years or 20 years, and then we'll go back to Denmark as soon as Trump and his likes were gone. Everyone wants a peaceful solution. Donald Trump is the only one who seems to want to fight, and I don't even think the American military would want to fight. It just seems crazy and unhinged.
Well, they don't have their own mind. They don't have their own mind. The generals do, and the generals should have did. Y'all got to do something, man. Go back to the history when you had an insane. Just go back to the history. You had an insane, not Nero, but he was insane any fucking way. Matter of fact, people hated him so much that he wound up committing suicide. Anyway, the leadership, the council, which is above the Senate, Roman, the highest office, one of the highest offices you can get is Senate. Higher than that is council. The next is emperor. And normally you had ones that became emperor of Rome. Not all of them, some of them, they had a military background. They were generals. They had charge over legions. And when you had a crazy bugged out emperor, it was the military that took him, either took him out or put him out of office. The Senate came against Julius Caesar, and they surrounded him and he stabbed him up, including Brutus, which was Julius Caesar's friend. They were not real friends. History said they were friends. They weren't friends. They were like fake friends. Brutus never liked the guy, but he played, friend with him. And he said, what did he say? He said, you too, Brutus? But how did he say it? In Latin, there's a way you say it. E tu bruti, I think the saying is. Because when he's getting stabbed up, he saw Brutus. He said, I thought you were my friend. You stabbed me up too. So this guy, like we've been. Oh, by the way, so let the record reflect that we here at GMS, we are the ones that said that this guy's Nero, and this is Nero. This is definitely Nero. He looks just like Nero.
Gonna pay off some of his wealthy donors so he can run for president a third time, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm gonna leave it there.
And if we can go that far, he will become president for the third time, because he can cause a war. We're in an emergency. I got to remain as your president. So he can be the president for life. But we're not going to go that far, in my spiritual opinion. This thing we gotta be out of here. I'll be surprised if we go to 2028. Too many things are happening. Now Zelensky, he wasn't supposed to be the president, but because of the war, he said, it's an emergency, I got to remain the president. So he was supposed to be out of there.
I'll put the video down in the comment section if anyone want to do something on it. If I forget, remind me. But yeah, man, we're going to get some scriptures and leave it there. But yeah, This politician, she's very articulate, right? Actually, let me go ahead and let her finish playing.
That's what most Greenlanders are thinking. We don't know, but that's what we're thinking. They already did a poll last year. 6% only was pro-American. I have seen a lot of videos on social media lately where they are saying, I'm sorry, I was wrong about MAGA, I was wrong about America. So I would think it would be even less percent now. So only 6% a year ago, and I think probably even fewer now. 85% overwhelmingly said no last year. As I said, I think the percentage is higher now, so no. Decisively no. Nobody wants NATO to be pitted against each other. Nobody. I mean, nobody, except maybe Donald Trump, and nobody knows why. We're thinking, is he too good friends with Putin, or what is happening here? Nobody wants Greenland to be a battleground. But we have seen a lot of nations kind of step up, and as I mentioned, they're trying to do the last friendly gesture towards America, as well as displaying we do actually have military capabilities. We still want to be friends. But as you saw today, the Canadian Prime Minister, he went to China to try and make new relations. So if Donald Trump wants a new world order, okay, then that's what he's going to get. 74% of Americans.
Oh, and allegedly, the reason Canada is going to China because all the stuff that's going on, Canada is talking about selling oil to China now because of the tariffs between America. Because remember, they got what's called the oil sands of Canada, or the tar sands of Canada, where they produce a lot of oil and they ship it down here. Well, because of the tariffs and everything that's going on, and Trump arguing with Canada and arguing with Mexico and putting tariffs on everybody, they're like, well, fuck it, we just gonna sell our tar sand oils to China. So now they're making relations with China, and see, that this is why we told you, this place is becoming unglued, man. The Most High is bringing this place down, and allegedly this man had a stroke, and there's talk now that they may have to invoke the 25th Amendment, which is to take power from him. Let me show you. Yeah, see? It says Swalwell joins and calls to invoke 25th Amendment over Trump Greenland letter. Because, he also, let me show you what else he did. He sent another letter out. It might be the same letter they sent to Norway, whereas though,
Yeah, 25th Amendment, if you don't know, is if you're incapacitated, you might be in a coma for 3-4 months, and then they're going to eventually say, well, he's not going to make it, he's no longer president, or you're just crazy. Insanity. You're just insane. Now everybody's talking, and I've been talking about the 25th Amendment before he swore in for his second term. Calls to invoke 25th Amendment, grow after Trump Norway letter. Even Schwarmer, this guy, let me spell it out. So things are happening, man. Going back to what Alizé said, we could be here for another 1,000 years. That's why we jumped on you, bro, and you got mad.
He was talking crazy. This man is literally losing his damn mind in office. But guess who else lost their mind in office? Nebuchadnezzar, right? Let's get it. Daniel 4 verse 31. While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whosoever he will. You see that? And the Most High is in the process of making this man give up Babylon. He don't realize it yet, but we see it because it's Bible prophecy. And all these nations going to come against this place. All right? Daniel 4 verse 33. The same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs was grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like bird claws. See? This is what the Most High did to him. And it seemed like, this man also is losing his mind in office. Okay, he's becoming a madman right in office. All right. And I don't know if it's true, but they also said that Hitler, because of the lead in the water, that a lot of them Germans was losing their mind. But no, I ain't giving them a pass. It's just they the devil. That's all. So yeah, we're gonna leave it there, Jake. But yeah, this thing is heating up. Okay, it's heating up. You got politicians crying on national TV. All right, tariffs are being slung at each other like they like they throwing rocks at each other, or like a damn fool fighting in a kitchen hall in high school or something. This thing is getting crazy, and eventually it's gonna come to real blows. But yeah, Italy is talking about meeting with Russia. Canada is talking about meeting with China. So yeah, this thing.
The breakup of the defeat of it, Daniel 2, starting from the verse 40. The defeat of it will be part iron and part miry clay. So they're breaking up. So this union is breaking up, and the stone that's going to hit the feet of it, and Daniel 2. That Yahushua and the angels coming to destroy, do two things: destroy this place, Babylon, shake the whole planet Earth, and deliver the elect to Israel, and then the kingdom. But before that happens, the planet has to be chipped.
Thing is heating up. Okay. So yeah, Jake, stay prayed up. I'll see you again real soon. Call Halal, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.
You notice he said Yahweh in closing. He said Yahweh. He opened and he said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and in closing he said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But you got a certain camp that we don't know the name of the Lord. I'm talking about IUIC. And when he first started teaching that, I thought of Tazadakia. He said no, we don't know the name of the Messiah. His name is Bun Yahweh. Then we don't know the name of Yahweh. And you know where he is. The Most High took him out about 6 years ago on April Fool's Day. So the joke was not on him. Anyway, let me just do this. I just want to go to this precept. I'll give you maybe another precept or two if the Spirit hits me. Okay, I don't want Revelation 17. I want... Oh, and if you watched, it was the 19th. It was the official opening day of the Davos meeting, the WEF, the World Economic Forum, held in Davos, Switzerland. They didn't show too much yesterday because it was MLK Day. So the financial station that I watch is CNBC. They had like other things. They had pre-recorded stuff. But on Bloomberg, I said, let me go to Bloomberg. Well, they were over there. They were already over there. And they take those crews and they go, they go to Switzerland and they broadcast it. So this morning I was watching it. When I wake up, I'll put it on CNN. Then from CNN, see if there's any breaking news. Then I'll go to the financial channel, which is CNBC, just to see what they're talking about. And every guest that they had on, they were pretty much talking about AI. AI, artificial intelligence. So somebody's going to be talking about the implantable chip. What I'll do now, the meeting at Davos is from the 19th to the 23rd. So we're talking about 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Talking about 4 days. I think it's 4 days for that meeting. And there's tech people, CEOs of various companies. And you'll see a lot of Edomites from Europe, from America. You'll see a lot of Elamites and Moabites, and even some Ammonites, and they all get together, for AI, for the purpose of AI. But AI is ultimately going to be the chip. Anyway, let me just do this. I'm going to go to Revelation. I am going to go to Revelation 17, but I'm going to read it in 17 and 16. But however, I'm going to read it in the NLT, maybe the AMP. Let's do the AMP, and we might even go to the NLT. Okay, this is AMP. As a matter of fact, let me do this. So if you're dealing with a prophetic timetable, we're actually living in this time. Let me come up a little bit more. The doom of Babylon. And we know that that's talking about the U.S., lake of fire. It's off in 11 verses. AMP. And the beast that once was, but is not, the Roman Empire, is himself also an eighth king, which is America, and is one of the seven. So John was in the Roman Empire, and he saw the Roman Empire go down, and he goes to destruction. That's talking about now. He goes to destruction, perdition, that means the missiles. Now, if you go to Google or if you go to Bible Hub and you go to Revelation 13, actually, about the beast, the 7 heads, 10 horns, and so forth, they'll equate it to Daniel 7, and they'll say that that's the Roman Empire. But then the reformed beast, it's talking about the Roman Catholic Church. We don't know what it's talking about because they don't know prophecy. They don't understand prophecy. So Most High has to open up your eyes so you can see it. Okay, the 10 horns that you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but together they receive authority as kings for a single hour. An hour with the Most High is about 42 years. So that's from 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 2008. Okay, so about 2000, that's when their rule is up. So they're living on borrowed time. They're in power for an extra 25 years for a common purpose along with the beast. These kings have one purpose, one mind, one common goal. Not no more. Not no more. That was the NATO treaty was all about. The EU coming together. Not no more, thanks to Nero, victory of the Lamb. They will wage war against the Lamb, the Messiah, and the Lamb will triumph and conquer them. When you go to Revelation 6, the white horse that going to conquer and to conquer, that's talking about Yahweh Shai. Because he is Kyries of Kyries, which is lords, and kings of kings, Malak of Malaks, Malak, and those who are with him and on his side are the called and chosen, elect and faithful, which represent us if we continue in the faith. 15. Remember, this is AMP amplified. Then the angel said to me, the waters which you saw, where the prostitute is seated, the prostitute is Babylon the Great, because the prostitute lays down with any and everybody if you reward her. her are peoples and multitudes of nations and languages. America has influence over the whole world. Nobody wants Trump over there. Nobody wants Trump over there in Davos. And the 10 horns, which represent the EU/NATO, which you saw, and the beast, these will hate the prostitute and will make her desolate and naked, stripper. Obadiah 1 verse 7, stripped of her power and influence. And their influence comes with the gun. They'll ask you to do something, but they'll have a gun trained on your head. And will eat her flesh and completely consume her with fire. That's the missiles. For the Most High hath put it in their hearts to carry out his purpose by agreeing together to surrender their kingdoms to the beast. That's your one world system. Until the prophetic words of the Most High will be fulfilled. So we're in that time. Like I said, I'll be shocked. I'll be surprised if we go to 2028. The woman whom you saw is the great city, which is the prostitute, which reigns over and dominates and controls the kings and the political leaders of the earth. That's him. He took down Venezuela. He said, "Oh, this guy is selling drugs," and it went from drugs to oil. Oh, we're taking the oil. What about the drug thing? When he went before a New York court, there were certain charges they dropped automatically. And anytime this guy called for somebody to be arrested and go to court, they dropped the charges because they're fake charges. What's the term? There's a term for a charge that a judge throw out because it's a stupid charge, and that's what this guy does. His thing is to make people's life difficult, and he's just being controlled by the Most High. Man's goings of the Lord. So now let me go ahead and read that in the NLT, then I'll get ready to go. Okay, I'll start at 11. NLT. Start at 11. Verse, Revelation 17:11. The scarlet beast that was NATO and the EU, but is no longer. Rome is the longer as the 8th king. He is like the other 7, and he too is headed for destruction. Well, he's going to be headed for destruction. The 10 horns is an NLT. The 10 horns of the beast are 10 kings who have not yet risen to power. They came into power with the NATO. The EU came into power with NATO. NATO was established in 1949. The EU was established officially it got a charter in 1958. So about 9 years later. They will be appointed to their kingdoms for one brief moment, and that represents 42 years. When you do the math, that's approximately the year 2000. So they're living on borrowed time to reign with the beast. They will all agree to give him their power and authority. Together they will go to war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will defeat them because he is Kyries of all Kyries, and King or Malaks of all Malachium. And his called and his chosen and faithful ones will be with him, because we're going to be delivered if we continue. in his faith. Then the angel said to me, the waters where the prostitute is ruling, that's Babylon, the U.S. America, represent masses of people of every nation and language, meaning this is a great melting pot, they used to call it. Now you got these nations wanting to go back to their country. They say, well, I'm doing better in my own country. I'm going back to my country. The scarlet beast and his 10 horns all hate the prostitute. Well, you just saw the video on it. They will strip her naked, eat her flesh, use her, and burn her remains with fire. For the Most High has put a plan into their minds, man's goings of the Lord, a plan that will carry out his purposes. They will agree to give their authority to the scarlet beast, and so the words of the Most High will be fulfilled. And this woman you saw in your vision represents the great city that the rulers over the kings of that rules over the kings of the world. So anyway, I'm going to close. You know what? Let me do this. Let me see what's going on here. Daniel 9:27 has nothing to do with Trump board of peace. Yeah, oh boy, I gotta watch that. Anyway, shalom, on to the next. Hitting the wrong button.